Hello and welcome to another Reaconteur video, and in today's video I'll be going over everything broken in Type Soul. This video will be going over various bugs and glitches, as well as things that are just unbalanced and need nerfs. Make sure to subscribe, since only about 20% of the people watching right now are actually subscribed. And also I'm live on Twitch, come watch me on Twitch. I am on Twitch right now. You have to watch me on Twitch, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I stream 3 times a week and I'm live on Twitch after uploading a video every time I upload a video. Now let's get straight into it. Alright, so first of all, let's go over a quick compilation of various bugs and issues that were in the game. First of all, and the most prominent being whitelisting issues, or the whitelisting glitch that a lot of people, and by a lot of people I mean literally everyone, experienced. Normal players who aren't testers couldn't join the game for like 25-30 minutes after release because the devs forgot to clear the testing whitelist. So basically, the game's security, which prevents normal people from joining the game, like, you know, when it's during testing, when they shouldn't, right? That wasn't disabled or removed, so people would just get kicked. Now this happened to about 67,000 people, I don't know. I remember the game was peaking at 100,000, but upon initial release when people saw this, the player count was probably around 67,000. Anyway, the next bug is in relation to data stores. Now apparently, according to devs, the reason that they set every item stored in banks to 1 was a countermeasure to prevent duping. Now, I personally don't believe this, right? Because the data store issues were just anything in relation to losing data or reducing numbers of stuff, right? But I don't believe this, because if that was the case, why not do it to inventories too? I, for example, have 300 element rerolls, which I just had lying in my inventory. If I duped those, I would just keep them, which contradicts what the devs said, because that they said, regardless of whether or not you have them banked, all of your items should have been reduced to 1. Now, I didn't dupe the rerolls that I have, but I did keep them, and I probably won't use them, so if you see me in KT, feel free to ask for rerolls. Don't DM me or ask in the comments, though. I'm not taking out my own time to give you guys stuff, so don't bother me for rerolls unless I'm already in the game and you meet me. Anyway, data store bugs go from stuff like losing your items to what happened to me, where I lost all of my accessories except for the cat ears. I don't know why. I don't know why cat ears are the only thing I kept, but they're the only thing I got to keep. But the issues do go all the way to people having their entire accounts and slots completely wiped, which sucks. Most people also lost all their con, which might have been on purpose, which, I mean, if you don't know, the con is the money. But I'm honestly not sure if it's on purpose or not, because along with that, they removed the con rewards from the ranked arena for some reason. And another bug is that when selling items at the raid shop, everything only sells for 100 con instead of the listed price. So if you got your accessories wiped like me, it is impossible to get them back without doing way too many server events, because getting money is really annoying right now. There was also an issue where if you had the hold M1 setting enabled, then you just void rerolls when using lots of them at once to spin fast for like legendaries and mythicals. Right, but you'd also sometimes skip over legendaries and higher rarity ones despite the fact that the UI for them coming up is, you know, it's supposed to come up and say, hey, are you sure you want to reroll for anything legendary or higher? So imagine rolling over like Snake or Chess or something and voiding all your rerolls and getting stuck with something you don't want. And along with that, there was just a really weird bug where flash stepping wouldn't work sometimes, or at least didn't when you had a buddy equipped. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a majority of the issues revolving around this game is just the fact that the game was made with like crazy spaghetti code and if-and strings, because there's no way that a buddy could somehow conflict with flash stepping in any normal code. Like, I feel like the bug that happened here was like the devs forgot to script the ability to flash step if you have a buddy and when you're pressing Q, because how does that happen? And along with that, in relation with broken base mechanics, Shrift, for example, and it just had its progression broken. And I'm not completely sure, but I think Segunda got progression broken as well, but it should be fixed now. And now, well, I don't think this was a bug. The Bankai fight did get reset for Soul Reapers, because they buffed all of the Bankai NPCs now. In doing this, some of the fights are miserably hard, such as Benihime, Ice, and Snow, which I'll cover on later because Ice needs some nerfs. But as a whole, I think that the Bankai fight is kinda stupid to make this strong, because if you guys remember originally when Benihime first came out, that Bankai fight was really hard. Now it's reworked, now it's better than ever, and now the NPC parries literally everything. So I think they really should tone down some of the Bankai NPCs, which is the same thing that you'll find in Hell, because there are Bankai NPCs in Hell that you can fight with like Blood Bankai and stuff like that, and they just all have auto parry on every attack now. It's really broken. Now, for some reason, there's also another bug that currently, as of this video recording, exists, where basically you can't leave Ring 3 of Hell after beating the boss. It just says server full, and it happens after beating the boss, right? So you just get stuck there, and you can't leave and go back, or you just have to like redo everything starting from from Ring 1 because the quest gets glitched, which is really stupid, and I'm hoping this gets fixed immediately. And as all of you non-PC players probably know, mobile and Xbox clients are experiencing game crashes and the inability to play the game at all or join servers right now. Not sure why, it's just happening to a lot of people. I think it's probably because one of the thousands of lines of code in the game is saying, if you're on Xbox and you want to join the game, you can't. I'm sorry. Then we have issues with the new modes and non-ranked 1v1s not working. So Clan Wars and Killing Games, which is the Battle Royale mode, those weren't working for a little bit. I guess you just couldn't join them. But yeah. Now, those are all the bugs that I wanted to cover. If I miss anything, leave it down in the comments below. So if there's any bugs that I didn't cover here, leave it down in the comments and we'll see what you guys have gone through. Now, as for stuff that's broken balancing-wise, let's get into it. First of all, the Bankai NPCs are crazy strong right now. Not just the fight ones, but also the ones that spawn in hell. And for some reason, they all have auto parry, making it super difficult to actually kill them most of the time. Now, speaking of broken and Bankai, Ice Bankai. This thing is fucking broken because Chaotic is a crazy super Toshiro fan. Like, Toshiro isn't the biggest fraud in anime. But the auto-tracking AoE that does half a bar of damage per second multiple times with fast hits coming out every couple of seconds, with the 3-second freeze effect and free counter that also does a free effect and another half bar of damage, I think it might just need to be toned down at least a little bit, right? Fuck Ice Bankai. Fighting an Ice Bankai user right now just isn't possible most of the time. And if you have the absolute displeasure of going against two at the same time like I did, you get infinite freeze chained and die in 6 seconds without any counterplay. It's so stupid. I just think Ice Bankai really needs a nerf. The auto-tracking independent of you AoE does not need to be doing half a bar of damage per hit. There are moves in modes that do 2 bars of damage per hit at most. That move does like 3, and you can't really avoid it. Like, you can't run from it. It's an AoE that you're already going to be inside of. Oh, and you get frozen, so you're stuck in it for even longer. And then they have their counter. Ice counter's always been brain dead, but could we at least not have it doing half a bar to a bar of damage? That is stupid. Now, along with that, this isn't really a full mode, but Nimble. Nimble Shrift is really strong right now. Right now, it's definitely the best Shrift, excluding Volstundich, but it's really dumb. You essentially get free dodges, and for whatever reason, the devs thought it should teleport you to the opponent for a free combo starter every time, for whatever reason. I believe it is the C move that also true combos into Spalt and Crit right now, so hopefully that gets removed. And the Shrift essentially gives Quincy players free value for doing nothing, which is the same issue I have with Ancient Vastikar's main passive, which I'll get into in a bit. And while the Volstundich isn't the best, it's definitely the easiest one in the entire game because every move auto-tracks for you. So while sometimes you have a risk of missing attacks in your mode or Sklave Rai, not with this. You literally cannot miss even if you're trying to. So if you're in Volstundich and you lose to someone else in their full mode, and you're using this, remember, seeing as how you cannot miss your moves, if you lose in a mode battle with this, you can use the excuse that their mode is just better. Because if you lose with this, it probably is, because, like, you can't miss. Now, that's not really an issue though, because it's honestly not that strong. It really is just the Shrift, which is too strong, and the passive dodging is so stupid, because people will just walk out of your combos and hyper armor you. Now back to what I was saying about Ancient Vastakar. I've talked about it in literally every Type Soul video I've made at this point, but it's just poorly implemented into the game. The main passive, which reverses guard breaks, incentivizes a baiting playstyle, and even if the person using it doesn't just bait for a free combo, they get rewarded for playing bad by getting guard broken. It just isn't good game design. The devs also removed the second partial move from Arrancar's because it was too strong, just to give it to Ancient Vastakar, which a majority of people will probably have pretty soon anyway. So the nerf felt like a lazy way to give Ancient Vastakar more value than it's worth, and its first guard break reversal passive is clearly a bad idea, because the only way they could think to balance it was putting a super long cooldown on it. And as I've said, if the best way to balance something is to make it occur as little as possible, then maybe it just shouldn't exist. Then on top of that, there's the new Devil Triggers. For some reason, the Arrancar move for it, which is Judgment Cut End, puts people in a super long stun, which allows you to just hit them with literally anything, because for some reason during this stun, you can't block or dodge or anything like that. You're just stuck moving super slow until they hit you. It also occurs even if you parry the move, and I get that Virgil kind of manipulates time with his Judgment Cuts by warping time and space, but we don't really need that in the game now, do we? At the very least, if this is supposed to be a mechanic of some sort, parrying the move probably shouldn't punish you. Now, along with that, the Age of Miracles is back because the Sklave Rai for Miracle is apparently really broken. I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen it yet, but I was asking a few people and I've been told it's the dumbest true mode in the game so far, which is funny because it's still an Ice Bankai victim. Anyway, as for Fullbringers, chess specifically, chess is the mythic, and I really hate it. No, actually, I just hate fighting it. The X move, King's Guard, creates an AoE of spinning chess pieces around you. Now, it doesn't sound that strong, but it's not only a free pressure tool which forces opponents to run from you and make distance, but it's also a get-out-of-jail-free card, since you can use it to escape a lot of combos, and it's also usable to punish people for using certain moves that teleport. It only lasts a few seconds, but it's a really strong tool, and it has hyper armor as well, so don't even bother trying to interrupt it. You can maybe hit them with ranged moves while they're in it, but it's really stupid. And the C move, the big chess piece that drops on your head, is just really annoying and obnoxious, especially in the Fullbring where it drops on your head 3 times. It's really good in ganks. Now, chess just applies way too much pressure while also being to alleviate any pressure you put on them at any time using the X move. Luckily, it has like a 20-second cooldown though, so you only get a free combo escape 5 or 6 times per fight instead of, I don't know, once. It's just really annoying. And I feel really bad for the Air Hakata users who have to fight this because, like, you just can't land anything. Shori, they press X. Or they waterfall dance. A lot of people are running speed right now. You kind of just, you use the King's Guard to get out of literally anything for pretty much free. But yeah, that's really all I want to suggest for nerfs as far as for balancing. If I forgot anything, comment down below other bugs you've encountered or things that you think need rebalancing because they're too strong. Make sure to subscribe and check out my Twitch and live channel. Shoutouts to YouTube members Green, Brick, Goobka, High Card, and Drizzy Drake Fan. I love you all, have an amazing day, and goodbye.